So I asked her for a number and all of that, and we exchanged information. And we had two different lines. So what we would do at night, if I can get my brothers to get off the phone and stuff like that, what we would do at night, now you got to remember, this chick is my brother's age, right? What we would do at night is we knew where the phone lines were going into the ceiling. We were so rebellious and crazy as boys. I can't even imagine the things that we put our mother and our father through, having to deal with us and raise us. It's one of the reasons why I said that I was only going to have one child if I decided to have a child at all. Because the stuff that we did and the things that we put our parents through is insane. Absolutely insane. Anyway, so we would switch the phone lines out at night, and we would unplug this one and then we would plug in that one, so that when they called, it didn't ring into the regular phone line, but it rang into the business line, and then we could be able to have that conversation late at night without waking up our parents and then them having to pick up the phone and say, get off the phone or anything like that. Eventually, some years down the line, they figured it out, but it didn't matter by then because we had pagers and stuff. But yeah, man, it was crazy because them late night conversations, you get to game people. You get to have a different type of conversation. And what I've learned about people and women, and a lesson that my father taught me very early in life, he actually told all of us. He said, don't spend an extended amount of time around people that you wouldn't normally spend time around or have a conversation with, because you'll learn to like them. Let me say that again. Do not spend an extended amount of time around people that you wouldn't normally spend time around, because you are going to start liking them and overlooking a lot of different important things and issues and problems and things that you wouldn't normally take into consideration, because you start to see them for the inside or all of this other type of stuff that you wouldn't normally take into consideration. And then you get compromised because, time around somebody actually makes the heart grow fond. And then you start to move a little bit differently, right? And so because you spend more time around somebody, it enables you to then disarm them and then take away the thing that they would naturally put up as a defense mechanism, or a thing in place that then compromises their values and the things that they wouldn't normally do. And I was smart enough to actually recognize this and pay attention to this as a young man, right? And so when I'm having these conversations with her on the phone and stuff like that, she feeling me, right? Now this chick is 17 going on 18, and I tell her that I'm 15, about to turn 16. I just turned 16 in April, and it's the summertime and all of that type of stuff. And so, she like, you a little young. I don't really talk to younger guys or whatever like that. And I was able to get away with it. You know what I'm saying? And it's wild to think about. But eventually I was honest with her. Before I ever kissed her, before I ever really got too deep with her, I was honest with her. And I told her, I said, yo, I know this is a very, very hard thing for me to say, but I just want to let you know that I'm not the age that I told you that I was. And she was like, oh, okay, well, how old are you? And then when I told her, she was just like, what the fuck? Like, no way. No way. I'm not believing it. I'm not fucking with you. I'm getting off the phone. Like, that was her reaction. Like, and I expected it. I didn't trip about it because I had already accomplished what I wanted to accomplish within, which was the idea that I was able to get her if I wanted to. I was satisfied with that. I wasn't tripping. The sex was, anytime that I had eventually had sex with a woman, I didn't trip about that because that was just like the cherry on top. For me, and this is in a lot of instances in my life, the challenge has never been the thing that you execute, is having the option to be able to do so. Let me say that again. The challenge has never been whether or not you was going to push the button. It was whether or not you even was in the room to be able to push the button in the first place. And so the fact that I had conquered and she had liked me and she was feeling me and she was even emotional about the idea that or so distraught about the idea that I was the age that I was, meant to me that it had meant something to her about what it was that we had progressed into as far as those small conversations or those late night conversations. And she was just like, yo, fuck that. I'm not fucking with you or whatever, so on and so forth. So I was like, I ain't tripping, whatever. And so I was like, all right, and it wasn't on no hang up on me type of stuff. It was just like on some amicable type junk, like, yo, I'm not really messing with that or whatever. But I knew I was going to see her again next Saturday and Sunday at skating, right? And so I did, and we skated and we had a conversation, and it was more disarming. And this is the thing that I tell people all the time is do not put yourself in a position to where you then have to compromise or you even have to reject the idea of being tempted in the first place. Don't put yourself in a position to where you have to be tempted and then say no. That's one of my cardinal rules. It's a thing that I absolutely live by, is that I don't even put myself in a position to be tempted in the first place. I'm not even going to entertain you. I'm not even going to figure out whether or not I have to say no. I'm not even going to have that conversation with you. You don't belong in the room. Get the fuck out. I'm out. Peace. You know what I'm saying? And so, women are a little bit different, especially younger girls. They're a little bit different in that they don't have that mental wherewithal to be able to make those type of decisions. All they know is I'm skating, I could be friends with you. And even today, like grown women, they think that they can honestly be friends with a guy and keep him in a friend zone or that we just amicable friends. They don't know that that guy is disarming her every single day. He's disarming her, right? And if you don't have any business with them, and I'm not saying that it's impossible, but 98, 99% of the time, it's very difficult, especially if the guy finds the woman some kind of attractive or whatever. It's very difficult for a guy and a woman to be friends and just keep it 100% above board. And so you got to have some level of business interest. You got to be working with people. You got to be able to put, to operate above board. And very few people are able to do that. Very few people are able to remove how they feel about somebody and then just keep it G and keep it above board. So don't even put yourself in that position to get tempted in the first place. But I seen her at skating, and we was skating, and we was having a conversation, and then eventually, you disarm them, get back on the phone. Next thing you know, they writing you a 4-page letter, an 8-page letter. Maybe I'll read it to y'all one day. I still got them.